So, unfortunately for you guys, I lied my last video. I said there was a high chance that all of my season 1 rankings would all be put together all into big one long video. Well, that was a lie. I had planned on doing it like that originally, but the recording was way longer than I remembered. Like, I knew it was going to be long, but after I stopped recording it, and looked at it, I was like, oh yeah, so all of these videos are gonna be long. So if I did all of them like that, this video would be like, like maybe like 3 hours, 2 hours, and it's not technically that making a video like that would be bad. I actually kind of think that would probably be kind of more enjoyable in a way because it's you can just watch the entire thing. But at the same time, that would be very difficult to do on my end because that would take like a lot of, powerful, it would be harder to do on my end basically. It takes a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, basically, my editing software would die if I tried to do that. So I'm just going to keep it short and simple. Actually, doing it like this is probably better in a way, so it's not so overwhelming on the brain and you guys can watch it in parts. I don't know how you guys would feel if I just uploaded like a 3-hour long video suddenly. Especially for my channel, I do have some long videos. But most of them are like, it's just dependent on the video. Like, usually these tier list video rankings and the review videos are longer. So, yeah. But the other videos are shorter and, but I've never quite made a video this long unless if it's like a live stream. But it's My Little Pony, so what do you expect? So, welcome back. I should have said that at the beginning of the video. This is a part of My Little Pony episode tier list making series. I've thought about it more, and this is settled. I'll try not to make the intro so long after this. Like, after this video right here, it should be like, hey guys, welcome to the video, get right into it, no long explanation, but I am going to set the record straight right here and explain it to you guys, so I don't have to really go deep into it again, and if I do, it'll be very short. So, what I'm going to do, I finally made up my mind on this. I am just going to make parts like I did, according when I upload this, my last video about this. I'm going to put it in a playlist. It should be that video, this video, and it's, they're going to be in parts, basically. You guys will see it as I upload it. You can't see it right now because I'm currently making the video right now, but when you guys see it, it'll make sense. It'll be on YouTube, it'll be on the playlist, and, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do the same exact thing for seasons 2 and 3, and then after that, I plan on making my big project video and maybe going into a little bit of season 4 and season 5. I haven't decided if I wanted to review season 4 and season 5 yet. I'm not really that worried about it right now. We'll tackle it when it gets here. This is a long project, and we really just want to stay focused with the present moment right now. So let's not get too ahead of ourselves here. We're still only on season 1, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 episodes in, so in no way are we in a rush. So let's dive right into it. I don't have nothing else to say. You guys probably want to go ahead and see it, and don't want like a I checked when I uploaded the first video, the intro was like 10 minutes long, so I think if I explained it, I'm sure I explained it very well, and I think you guys got what I was trying to say. So, before I add a different episode, let's take what do I want to call this segment? Let's take a switch and change segment. That's what we'll call it for right now. Don't know what I'm gonna call it when the video actually gets uploaded. So basically what that is me just, switching these videos I have up here. And I will say really quick, I didn't actually rank the look before you sleep one. I didn't notice that until I uploaded the video. And I was like, oh, I never even did rank look before you sleep. And I'm probably going to make a little chapter for this since I forgot to do it in my last video, because I could just like make a look before you sleep part 2 if I reviewed this episode last, but I didn't. I did the Zakora one last. So let's do this really quick and get it over with. I give this one a C on terms of season 1 standard. Now, like I said, that doesn't mean it's a bad episode. I stated in the first one, I do have mixed feelings about this episode, but it's not something I hate. I actually, it's a cult classic episode, and there's a lot of things in the episode I really like about it, but compared to these other episodes, it does have some major flaws, so that's why it gets the C ranking. So let's go over these real quick. This one obviously deserves an S. I think so far this is my favorite season 1 episode. Then we have Applebuck season and Dragonshy, which is kind of hard for me. Even though it's an Applejack episode, I don't particularly. I think I do like the Applejack one better, but these two are very, very close in terms of which ones I like better overall. But they're if I really had to, I'd probably put these two equally. It's not really that far off. I probably do like this one a little bit better just simply because it's an Applejack episode. And here we have the Trixie one, which is kind of hard for me. At least it's going in the S tier, but out of these, I don't know. The episode is really good, but it does have flaws with it, like I said. That aren't really that present in Dragonshy and, Applebuck season, Dragon Shot's a really straight to the point episode. Most of the episode takes place on the mountain. Applebuck season is about Applejack. There's not a lot of flaws with it. It's pretty funny and an enjoyable episode. Trixie, the Trixie episode, if it didn't have no flaws to it, it'd probably be right behind the Sakura episode, but it gets some downer points simply just because of the Snips and Snails segment, and the main 6 are a little bit too petty. I guess Trixie can be annoying. Younger me thought she was really annoying, so it's one of those episodes where you're either on Trixie's side or the main 6 side. Little me was definitely on the side of the main 6, and older me, definitely with Trixie because she's funny. So yeah, that's how I particularly want to rank that. By no means that this is a bad episode. It's in S tier for a reason. There is some annoying things about it, but that's why I'm putting it right here. Now, with this one, oh god, that's a hard one actually. That one's really hard because I don't know if I like Ticketmaster more than the first episode. Griffin Brushoff is definitely going to be right there at the last one. I think I'll put the first episode of I think I'm just going to leave this how it is. Just because the first episode of My Little Pony, I'm not supposed to judge it too much just simply because it's the first episode. I don't think that's fair, but there's a lot more going on in the first episode other than Ticketmaster. I mean, Ticketmaster is a cult classic, don't get me wrong, but it's really simple and to the point, which is what makes it a good first episode. You don't want your first actual episode of a series to have too much going on or be overwhelming, or else it's confusing. Ruby, sorry. Anyway, I do like Ruby, by the way. I think that's obvious if you look at my stuff. The earlier seasons of Ruby, though, definitely did have some flaws. It's still a good show, though. But, when it comes to this, the first 2 episodes definitely have a lot going on. And on top of that, Derpy is in the first episode, so I think that's a pretty valid reason to put it above Ticketmaster, simply just because Derpy's in it. If you can't make up your mind between two episodes, if Derpy's in one of them, just put that episode above the other one, simply because Derpy's in it. Okay, that's enough of that. Let's actually get to the rankings. Before I do actually start, though, I'm just gonna make what am I trying to say? Assumption about this. There's probably going to be this part, and then there's going to be two more parts to this series when it comes to season 1. So it's probably I'm going to see if I can divide it into 3, but we'll see. It's so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, that's good. You know what? Since let's do it like this. Let's do these next 9 episodes, and then after that we can do the other 8. So this video will be covering the Parasite episode, Winter Wrap Up, the Apple Bloom episode where she tries to get her cutie mark for the first time, Fall Weather Friends, the Art of the Dress episode, that's feeling Pinkie King, I'm sure. Yeah, that's the name of it. We got the Rainboom episode. Oh god, you guys are gonna get mad at me, but I can't really remember what this is. Oh, off the top of my head, I'll look it up, don't worry guys. Then we have this one, then we have the rarity one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is the showstoppers, I'm sure. I just don't know what this one is at the moment, but I'll look it up. Don't worry you guys. Oh wait, this is the what's it fucking called? The episode where Fluttershy sings a lullaby. Okay, yeah, I know that one really good then. Don't worry, guys. I know a lot about My Little Pony. It just had to click to me. Alright, the Parasite episode, I think I'm gonna leave that one at A. Because when I first watched this episode when I was younger, I was like very, I didn't care about the episode that much, and you can't particularly blame me. I don't want to say filler, but it's just kind of like a nothing episode. It doesn't really serve to the plotline, which I love filler episodes, and I love just like kind of filling episodes where nothing is particularly going on in an episode. I love episodes like that because it's fun. Episodes like that are fun, and I really enjoy episodes like that. Usually when people say a filler episode, they're usually complaining, but I think filler episodes can be really great if it's just written correctly. So yeah, which technically that isn't a filler episode, but it kind of is in a way. Like, there's no real character development in it. Like, I guess there technically is, but it's just kind of like the main 6 doing their thing, which I think filler episodes in My Little Pony are actually a great thing, because it's just kind of good to see the characters develop on their own. Not every single episode do you need a lesson, or not every single episode do these characters need to go through a major change to, learn the magic of friendship. Sometimes you can just have some episodes where the characters are just doing whatever, which I think is really important, and also it gives kind of a more realistic perspective on the show, and it makes it more relatable, so I really do appreciate that. Now, the thing with this episode is that, like I said, when I was younger, I didn't care about it that much. I actually do really like the episode now, mainly just because it's such a classic episode. If you look at My Little Pony and as a whole in a series, it's like such a classic episode. It's really, it's just really nostalgic. I said I wouldn't judge off nostalgic feelings, but for this one is a little bit different because it's just, I I guess if you were watching it and watching some episodes, this episode would be a little boring. But as it's like one of those things, the more it processes into your brain and you look at it in a perspective of like watching all the episodes, this episode is actually like really good. So, it's just overall a classic episode of the series. I like the whole thing they had going on with Pinkie Pie. I thought it was funny. I thought all the characters were written on point. The characters were written good. Nobody fell off. That's a good thing. They all felt really in character for this episode, which is also why I like filler characters because, it's hard to kind of write somebody wrong. Because it's not really on a personal level. Assuming this is a filler episode, you can tell it's not really a filler episode, but it is to me in my brain. So, Pinkie Pie was amazing in the episode. I love every character had a role in the episode. Nobody felt left out. Like, Rainbow Dash was trying to run them off. Twilight had her whole thing going on in the beginning of the episode. Rarity took one. She thought it was cute. Not Rainbow Dash. Applejack used some rounding skills. Fluttershy was kind of the mastermind behind it all. The episode was kind of about her. It's kind of like a Fluttershy and Pinkie Pie episode, really. So yeah, it was. I guess it was a little bit. I guess near the beginning it was more Fluttershy focused, and at the end it was more Pinkie Pie focused. But really the episode was about Celestia, and I think Celestia is really great in this because it's like, oh, everybody's freaking out about Celestia, and she just kind of comes through, and like everybody's just like so distressed. Like, it's really funny. I guess it can. The only downside to it, I guess, it's a little bit boring if you're looking for like a purpose in the episode. The episode don't really have a purpose to it. It's just supposed to be fun and funny, which it serves that purpose very well, in my opinion. I think it's a really solid episode of My Little Pony, which is why it's going an A. It's not exactly these other episodes, but it's really close. It's really close to an S. I just mainly didn't put it in S. Like I don't think it's technically. I don't think it's really S tier worthy. But at the same time, it's an A. Like it's definitely an A. But we haven't had a episode in A yet, so let's go ahead and put that there. Winter wrap up. I don't think that one's even like a question. That one is 100% going right there. I don't know if I like this one or the Sakura episode better. Oh my god, that one's like a really, really, really hard question to. That's really hard. I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it there for right now. But next video I do about this, we can go deeper into that. But right now I'm gonna leave it there. Both are really good. I will say this though, the winter wrap up episode is a little bit funner. It does get points for that. Just because it's mainly just a seasonal episode, it's a winter episode, it's lighthearted, it's charming. The Zakura episode, don't get me wrong, it's really funny, it's really clever, very intelligent. It's an overall great, amazing episode, but it's not on the same level of fun as the winter wrap up episode. The Zakura episode is more down to earth, down to life. It's really season one ish. And it has a lot of rules to it. Winter wrap up, like I said, it's a seasonal episode, so it kind of goes more into grounds. It kind of breaks some boundaries there for My Little Pony. This, in my opinion, is really the first episode of My Little Pony where it showed what My Little Pony can actually be. There's not a lot going on with the plotline like it does in the Sakura episode. So both of these episodes have their cons and pros to them. For example, this episode, it didn't have as much like witty little jokes or humor to it like it did the Zakura one. The Zakura one really paid attention to small details and such as that. The winter wrap up one didn't do that one as much. The winter wrap up one was more fun and just supposed to be upbeat, which gives you feel good feelings. But it's also funner than this one, and it's not as restrictive. In this episode, overall, it just kind of feels more funner. That doesn't mean it's technically better than the Zakura episode right here. This one was just simply a funner. You know, a lot of My Little Pony songs I'm not really big on. They're kind of corny, but the Winter Wrap Up song actually isn't that bad. It's I guess it's just me getting older, but like a lot of My Little Pony songs are just really cringe to me. Whenever I'm watching My Little Pony and a song comes up, I usually skip it. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, because it's just like, it's really cheesy and corny. All the songs in the show are mostly, but this Winter Wrap Up song is actually some My Little Pony songs are really good. Like, you have Raise This Barn. I said that very slowly, so you can't get mad at me. We have that song, and that's obviously, like, a more corny song. Like, it's supposed to be, like, everybody's so emotional, like, oh, and I'm just like, yeah, like, it's just kind of really cheesy. And then you have songs like, obviously, the most popular My Little Pony song, at least within the old Brony days, This Day Aria, that was a groundbreaking song. Everybody loves that song. It's really good. It's like, it doesn't even feel like on the level of My Little Pony. It's like, whoa. Yeah, that was Lauren Faust's last episode too, so, the way how they went all out, the fact that they went all out, that would make sense. But I'm getting kind of distracted. We haven't got to season 2 yet, but I'm just saying, also, I think this is should I put it in number 1 simply just because this is the episode that first introduced ferrets, I think? Should we do that? Should we do that? I'll think about it. I think I'm probably gonna put it in number 1 later. Like I said, don't get me wrong. The Sakura episode is really good, and I already said what I had to be said, but the thing about Winter Wrap Up that I didn't mention is that it was a groundbreaking episode within the Brony fandom. Every time somebody brings up season 1, you don't really hear about these other episodes as much. Of course, you hear about the very first episode, duh. But I feel like Winter Wrap Up, this episode gets brought up so much. I don't know about anymore as much, but I know it used to be. Like, and a lot of bronies, like, The Living Tombstone actually made a pony remix about this episode. It actually goes hard. It's not one of his most popular mixes. I actually found it, like, very later on. Like, I actually found that mix, like, 2 or 3 years ago. So, yeah, I was kind of late to the party of knowing that The Living Tombstone made a Winter Wrap Up mix, but it goes so hard, guys. Look that up. It goes. So, this one is definitely like a cult classic. I would say so far it's not the most cult classic. You know what? You know what? You know what? No, I don't feel right. No. I think this episode had more going on, okay? Like, yeah, this episode had more going on when it came to, like, activities and fun, Twilight doing all this stuff. But this one, like, I would say, like, intellectually, I guess this one had more going on. So let's just leave it like that before my brain explodes. Now this one, definitely gonna put it above the Gilda one. This one, the Gilda one is very close to a C, by the way. I'm gonna put that one there because, like, I don't have much to say about this episode either. Like, Twist is in it, right? Lauren Faust had plans for Twist, and basically after this episode, they just fucking completely forgot about Twist. Which I like Twist. It's also the introduction of Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon, so yeah, you have that. You have Cheerly being introduced. It's really the first episode ever to really introduce, like, the Cheerly in the school, and Diamond Tiara and Silver Spoon, and you had Twist there. Hashtag justice for Twist. I have no idea what the crap they did to her in the newer seasons, because I know a lot of these old characters they just brought back from their graves. I think that's how they tried to bring old bronies back, but I wasn't falling for it. I was like, yeah, you bringing back Trixie, that's not going to do anything for me. I'm sorry. Like, I love Trixie, but the show isn't the same anymore, so it's not going to work like that. Oh, Trixie's there. It's not hopped up anymore like it used to be. And she's just there, and all the bronies used to beg for her, and she's there, and it's like, oh, okay then. So, I'm getting distracted, but, yeah, like I said, you have an introduction of a lot of things in this episode, and actually the Cupcake song, not that one, not, Get Ready to Die by Andrew WK, not that one, don't worry, we're not talking about that, we're not on that topic. We're on this topic right here. Okay. So, yeah. What do I want to say about this episode? It's kind of hard to find anything to say. It's just a good episode. Like, it's not the best, but it's not bad either. It's like medium level, I guess. It's not okay. It's good, but it ain't the best. But it ain't a C tier. It's just simply a B tier. Yeah. Justice for Twist though. I mean, the episode was funny. I kind of did that. Oh, I really did like Applejack's message in that episode. Like, you'll get it one day. Applejack's a great character. Applejack's a good big sister. She's a little dramatic in the Zakora episode, but it was played off for laughs. So I love Applejack in this episode. It's just a good episode. It's not bad. It's not great. It's good. Yeah. Justice for Twist! They just gave her cutie mark and they're like, okay, I guess we're done writing her. Like, what happened? Like, I want to know what happened to Twist. Like, I know what happened, but, like, I want to know what happened. Like, I guess, like, they didn't want to keep her. Like, obviously, I know it was, like, Apple Bloom, Sweetie Belle, and Scootaloo, but, like, Twist, I don't know. And she, like, Twist, like, she had such a, like, unique design, too. It was just, like, she was supposed to be there for a long time, and then they're just like, okay, Twist, fuck you. It's, like, really weird. So, yeah. Dr. Who's is in this episode, and Berry Punch is very overdramatic. I think she's drunk, guys. Haha, very funny. Yeah, justice for Twist, though. Okay. So, let's move on to Fall Weather Friends. Let me scroll up. I think I'm gonna... This episode makes me so fucking pissed off, but it's not like the Gilda episode either, where you're like actually angry. It's just kind of like, it's just such a classic episode. Like, I think it's like, if I'm completely honest, it's probably a more classic episode than Winter Wrap Up. Now that I think about it, this is a very important episode to the Brony fandom. This episode is the very episode that kicked off the Apple Dash ship. If you don't know what that is, it's a very popular ship in My Little Pony. It's between Applejack and Rainbow Dash, and this is the episode that started it all. I think this episode, it kicked off Apple Dash more than it did Rarajack in the Look Before You Sleep episode. I honestly think it did. This, from what I remember, it was very popular and did very good. There's a reason to that. This episode is tense all the way through. It's, these other episodes, you have stuff going on, but it's more laid back. This episode, like, it's more, like, fist grip, not fisting. No. It's more like, it's more tense. You got a lot more stuff. This episode, it's like it doesn't really take a break like the other ones do. The other ones, like I said, are more laid back. This one's just more... There's a lot going on, but not, like, random a lot going on. Like, it's consistent a lot going on. This episode is more of one that keeps you on the edge of your seat. So, yeah, so I'm assuming you guys have watched these episodes. And the thing about this episode is that my brain constantly, like, changes opinions. Like I said this the first video. The very first time I watched this episode, obviously I was on Applejack's side. Second time I watched it, I was on Rainbow Dash's side because I thought Applejack was dumb and gay. I was dumb back then, I apologize. The third time I watch it, I'm back on Applejack's side, so... And you guys gotta be honest here. I think it's... Rainbow Dash was being a little bit, mean. She was being a little mean in this episode. She was cheating, and it still pisses me off, to be honest, how, like, Rainbow Dash was cheating, and the message of the story was like, oh, we can be fair. Actually, Applejack deserves to win. She deserves to win the race, because Rainbow Dash was cheating, and it's not fair how they're just, oh, they're both equal. No, Applejack deserves to get her her up, she deserves to get a little more inches above Rainbow Dash, but didn't happen. Which this is why My Little Pony irritates me sometimes. It's like, oh, we're all equal, and then right before that, somebody was just doing the worst shit. It's like the Ticketmaster. It's like, oh, you all have such a good reasons, but we all have to be equal. And like Applejack's fucking poor. It's the same poor Applejack. She gets like, I know I said last video, Twilight's the punching bag, but like, Applejack's the punching bag, but in a way that, like, the writers just are like, okay, like, when Twilight's the punching bag, it's played off for laughs, it's supposed to be goofy, it's like, yeah, okay, she's the main character. When Applejack gets, misunderstood, it's just upsetting, because she did nothing wrong. Like, what did Applejack even do? And there's a squirrel. Hey, Squirrely! Like, Applejack has the she has the right to be angry, and she has the right to get her justice. Like, why are we playing it off like this? Why? Why? But at the end of the day, it's whatever. It's a fucking cartoon, dude. It's a cartoon. Proceeds to talk about it for a fucking hour, 3 hours if you want to talk. We're talking about reviewing all of season 1. So yeah, besides the shit that irritates me with this episode, let's talk about the good parts. So obviously the whole episode is good. I think, guys, this is really random, but there's some fucking random ass dog just came here, and now he's just, or she. Yeah, so, yeah, there's just some random fucking dog right here that I've never seen in my entire life. Yeah, so let's get back to the video. I'm gonna try to ignore it, but it's just like some random fucking dog. I don't know. Please don't ask me. You guys can't even see it, but it's just some random fucking dog just suddenly showed up. It is getting like really close. At least it's not barking. Don't bark. I think it went up to me because I'm like ranting to death. And the dog's like, ooh, this person's friendly, but I don't want to deal with you right now. I want to make a My Little Pony video. So let's get back into the My Little Pony video. So as I was saying about this, it's, I'm back yet again. I have no idea what I was just talking about. I had to go inside real quick. But, what was on? Okay, I was talking about Rainbow Dash and Applejack. I was talking about how it pissed me off. Yeah, okay, I was talking about the good parts. The episode is funny, it's cleverly written. I like how Twilight ended up winning. I thought it was really funny. Actually, fun fact, Lauren Faust wanted Rainbow Dash to call Twilight a nerd originally, but whoever said, no, that was too rude, so Egghead came out. That was funny. I actually do think the word Egghead, not Edhead, Egghead, Twilight probably would be an Edhead though. Maybe. Probably Fluttershy more than Twilight actually. But yeah. I like how Twilight won. I like how they're like, lol, Twilight nerd loser bozo. That was pretty funny. Yeah, I like that. I like that about the episode. I like how Twilight won. Didn't Celestia pop up? Now the dog's back because it hears me talking. I think Celestia popped up at the end. Either way, good episode. This episode is kind of close to a B though, just simply because Rainbow Dash is being fucking annoying, but I mean, yeah. Like, I feel like it'd be illegal not to put that at A. Because it's just like such a classic episode, and I know you guys are probably so confused. Like, oh well, it kind of seems like the Gilda episode. Like, yeah, it's good. You guys, it's just something you guys have to watch to see like what I'm talking about. Oh god, we have another great episode. Yeah, so yeah. I bet you guys are curious as to why this is at the very tippity top. And I think it will stay that way compared to the other episodes I talked about. Let me see real quick. we'll see later. But for right now, I know I said this like 3 or 4 times. This is my favorite episode of season 1. And from what I recall, it actually is my favorite episode of season 1. I don't think nothing else tops this from what I remember. I think I'm like 90% sure this is like my favorite episode of season 1. My brain can't remember them all from the top of my head right now. My brain does something one at a time. But yes, from what I recall, this is my favorite episode of season 1. Why? First of all, Rarity is written correctly. I know, the dog's touching me. Get mad at me, but like, I love how Rarity is written here. I guess it's kind of a rarity for her to be written like no. The way she's written in this episode, you can tell it's how Rarity was supposed to be written. It's written, just very. I love Rarity in this episode. She's so great. Like, sure, she has her dramatic moments, like she had the crazy cat lady episode in the moment, but you can tell it was supposed to be played for laughs. Rarity is just really enjoyable and so pleasant in this episode. Like, it's definitely. I think this is just my favorite Rarity episode within the entire series. Like, she's just so solid and so good in this episode. Like, it's great. Like, she's just great in this episode, Oh god, please don't bark. Please don't bark. Please. Please, I'm making a video. Dog, please don't bark. Thank you. It saw a bug and it just started freaking out. I wish it would go away. But anyways, we have to, power through this. So yeah, other than Rarity, what you really get mad about in this episode is the main 6. They're very, annoying, which, to be fair, they're, it's written like that for a reason. You're supposed to boo for the rest of the main 6, and you're supposed to side with Rarity, which I think is a little bit harder for the younger audience that this was aimed towards, if you want to look at it that way, because Rarity is like more mature, and I think that's harder for a younger audience to catch on to. Now, when I was younger, I thought it was a good episode, but again, Rarity, she's probably the eldest without the main 6, if I had to assume, so it's just kind of hard for me to relate to her throughout this episode. I used to actually not like Rarity that much at all when I was younger, which is funny because she's actually like one of my favorite members without the main 6. Now, same thing with, it's actually funny because when I was younger, I loved Rainbow Dash and Twilight and Pinkie Pie, and didn't really care much about Fluttershy and Applejack and Rarity, and now it's the other way around. Twilight and Rainbow Dash, I like Pinkie Pie, but I like Fluttershy and Applejack and, Rarity better, so yeah, I got a little distracted there, but that's basically how this episode plays off. I love the song in this episode, which I literally just said I hate almost all My Little Pony songs. I lied. I love this song. It's great. It's better than Winter Wrap Up in my opinion. Sorry, but it's like such a great song. Rarity has such a pretty singing voice too. So basically, Mrs. Rarity's voice actor, just go out throughout the entire series and just replace everybody's voice with your singing voice. Rarity can sing, okay? Rarity can sing. Fluttershy can sing, but Rarity can sing. Oh, Fluttershy, she said, but Rarity can sing, okay? Rarity can sing. She has a pretty voice. She has a pretty singing voice. I love it when Rarity sings. It sounds so classical and elegant. It literally matches her character straight on. So I love Rarity's singing voice. Did I mention I love Rarity in this episode? Yeah, it's a great episode. I keep repeating myself, but like, it's such a good episode. I love the dresses designs. Whoever designed the dress and the just the overall designer for the episode, for the dresses and all that, it did a really good job. I actually don't like Rarity's gala dress. Rarity's gala dress is actually my least favorite out the main six's dresses. If we're talking about the good ones, my favorite dress would probably be ooh, that's a hard one. Maybe it's probably either Twilight or Fluttershy. I mean, yeah, I get it. There's this thing with Hasbro, like, they have to come out with, like, a new toy line, and obviously they have to, like, relate it into the show. So, say, like, the season 4 finale where they all have, like, this rainbow power, whatever. You know, it was tied into the show, but it didn't really make that much sense. Like, we get it, you know, Twilight just defeat Tyrion, but, like, why are they turning fucking rainbow? Like, I get it, woo, power, they got their powers back and all this shit, crystals, whatever, celestial. Yeah, but, like, why? What's the point? This one actually makes sense, and it ties strongly into the show. So, this toy line they wanted to do of them having gala dresses, it plays in very well with the episode. That's what Lauren Faust did best, in my opinion, or whoever was writing this, like the wedding episode, and then wanting to marketing the Crystal Ponies and the Crystal Empire and the wedding. It plays into the show so well, and it's so brilliant how they just did it and made it seem so natural. It just kind of feels like in later episodes, it's like, okay, yeah, toys, Hasbro, Twilight getting wings. It feels kind of forced, but at least with the wedding stuff and the gala dresses like we see here, it feels very natural. So I love that. And Hoity Toity is great. All the stuck up Canterlot ponies are usually great, or just the fashion ponies in general. I know there's a lot in the show now, but back then it was mostly just photo finish and Hoity Toity in that one other mare. Sapphire Shores, right? Yeah, I love Sapphire Shores. She's amazing. I love her. She's one of my favorite ponies. So, all those fashion ponies, I love how they didn't make them stuck up. Like, obviously, they are a little stuck up, fashion, but they're not, like, stuck up in an annoying way like Prince Blue Blood. So, I like how they did that. Fancy Pants wasn't stuck up that much either in the start. That was either season 2 or season 3, but Fancy Pants really wasn't that stuck up compared to some other ponies, but then it's like the whole fandom treated him like he was stuck up, and later seasons did too. Like, what are you guys fucking doing? He wasn't even really that stuck up to begin with. Like, yeah, sure, he's a Canterlot pony, but like, what the that's such a random thing to complain about, but that still irritates me a little bit. Okay, yeah, this isn't about Fancy Pants though. So yeah, I love this episode. The only things about the good episodes is that I don't have a lot to talk about. So, just a beautiful, amazing episode. Like, I love it. Like, you know, yeah, like I said, the main six did feel a little out of character. But, there was a reason to that. I love Rarity. Rarity, the workaholic Rarity tries so hard. Oh yeah, and Fluttershy can sew, and we know that because of this episode. Sue, whatever you want to call it. Alright. Let me count real quick, guys. Okay, we got this episode, we did this episode, we did this episode, and we did this episode, and we did this episode, and we did this episode. Yeah, what did I say? Oh yeah, I said I would stop right here. Okay. Or maybe I might stop right here. We'll see. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. We'll see what happens, you guys. But yeah. I at least know we're going to do these next two. Filling Pinkie King. This might not make sense at first. Actually, hold on. Filling Pinkie King. Yeah, let's leave it there. You might be confused. This episode is like really laid back compared to a lot of other episodes. Like it's again, it's kind of like a filler episode. Like, wow, we have a thing going on. This kind of feels like a filler episode. It's just like, it's like one of those episodes you don't really have nothing going on. It just feels like a typical day in Ponyville. This introduces Pinkie Pie being on cocaine. So we have that, and you know, I love Applejack in this episode. She's so fucking funny. I love Applejack. Applejack's so great in this episode. And this is the first episode from what I recall where we are introduced to Twilight's laboratory, which was shown in a lot of fan animations and stuff after that. So that was really cool. So, this is obviously a Pinkie Pie episode. I actually love Twilight in this episode. You know, Twilight is kind of one of those mixed characters where either she's written very bad or very good. Or sometimes she's like kind of in between. This episode, I love Twilight in this episode so much. I wish she was kind of like that all the time. Twilight in this episode, she kind of results back into. Why is this dog chewing on a chair? Anyways, this episode kind of results back to the very first episode, Twilight. She's like very, oh, that's crazy, oh, that's dumb, oh, that's, yeah, okay, you guys make no sense. I love that Twilight. For some reason, that Twilight was only really present in the first episode, and then after that, they were just kind of like, yeah, okay, she's okay with this now. Like in the Ticketmaster episode, she acts like she's like close enough with these mares to like be like consider them her best friends. Like, bruh, you've only known them for like a fucking day, but whatever, I guess. But like, to be fair, some of these episodes weren't probably released. Like, I feel like some of these episodes are actually older than others and just got released at like a different time. Like, if you want me to be completely honest, Feeling Pinkie King, I feel like it was, like, one of the first episodes that was written and just came out later. Same thing with the Parasite episode. Actually, it would make a lot of sense if, these two episodes right here were first, and then after that, actually Feeling Pinkie King coming first would make sense. So these two episodes and then Feeling Pinkie King and then the Parasite episode. I feel like Ticketmaster would be later in the series, but I understand why they did that. Also, really quick, you know, we're all leading up to the Grand Gala episode, so this episode came first and then the Rarity one, and then we get to the Gala episode, so it doesn't really matter, but I find it really charming how, like, you had episodes leading up to the, Gala episode. I just really like that. It's just really charming, so, it's just a really good episode. I don't know what to say about this. I love Twilight. I love the slapstick humor. Derpy's in it. I love Applejack in it. Pinkie Pie's funny. Fluttershy's in it. By the way, I don't know who animated this episode in particular, but like the animation in this episode, I feel like it's better than like the other episodes. I don't know what it is about this episode, but it is like the animation is like so spot on. It's like really expressive. It's not too eye bleeding. It's not none of the My Little Pony is eye bleeding. What the fuck am I talking about? But Follow With Their Friends, I don't know why. I think it's just this picture right here. But it's like Follow With Their Friends feels more HD than this. This episode, it feels like it shouldn't be in HD because it's just the aesthetic of it, I guess. You have the ever so classic Twilight turning into Ponyta from Pokemon, the white and red fire pony. I think that's the Pokemon's name. You have that. You have them doing just silly My Little Pony shit. You have all that going on. You have Twilight spying on Pinkie Pie to try and understand her. You have Twilight being paranoid, rightfully so. There is a bee right there. Okay, it left. So yeah, you have all of that going on. That was really cool. You have yeah, I love Twilight and Pinkie Pie's dynamic in this episode, and Applejack is just goofy and funny. I love silly Applejack. Who's a silly pony? Applejack. Then you got Fluttershy. I love the fight at the end. I just love this episode. I think I'm gonna move on. I just love this episode. Oh, you got the Rainboom episode. So, where do I want to put this? I think I'm gonna leave it there. Whoever told you this episode isn't a classic is lying to you. This episode, like, it feels like recently we've been getting into we're getting into the meaty section of season 1. Like, we reviewed a lot of cult classics. This is one of this is it seems like every time we review a cult classic, like a new ship gets introduced. So this ship introduces the shipping between what I feel like is the introductory episode ship of Rarity and Rainbow Dash. Although that ship isn't as popular within the fandom, it's kind of on the same level as Apple Shy. It's still very important to point that out because a lot of these episodes, with a lot of shippers, they like I said, they trace back to a particular episode at which they started shipping the shipping, or they either just think like, oh, this ship, it was when it was first introduced. So we have a lot of Rainbow Dash and Rarity uh, dynamics going on here. This episode is really Rainbow Dash and Rarity focused. So you have that. This episode does have some flaws. Let's point that out real quick. So, first of all, Rarity is just fucking weird in this episode. Rarity feels out of character. I do understand why she was written because Rainbow Dash. You guys do have to understand though, sometimes a character is written out of character for purpose of a plot. Like for this one, for example, Rarity had to be written out of character here. The same thing with the art of the dress here. The rest of the main six had to be written out of character in order for the episode to work. Like I said, I didn't say this actually. In the Rarity episode, I feel like the main six would actually be more caring and understanding. I don't know about Rainbow Dash. Rainbow Dash is a little bitch sometimes. But yeah, besides that, you have this episode right here. Rarity is weird. She's not technically dramatic in this episode, but she's just like very weird, I guess. Like you guys probably get what I'm saying. Like she's not technically rude in it. She's not dramatic or uptight. She's just, oh, look at me. Like she kind of turns into Matt from Ed's World, I guess. Which is kind of like that, kinda. But I don't know how to explain it. She's just really weird. Like she's just weird. Like she just feels out of character. But again, there's a purpose. So Rarity is weird. I have a pet peeve in the show, like how races can like do different sort of magic, especially unicorns. I feel like unicorns are like extremely overpowered, and this is kind of like a little side rant here. I don't do those enough, but it feels like in this episode, like Twilight, like here's my problem with unicorns in general with My Little Pony. Just the fact that unicorns can be written, I feel like a lot of times they're not often unicorns are the main focus of My Little Pony in general. You have Twilight, you have Starlight, you have Sunset Shimmer, you have whoever the fuck that was at the very end of the series. I forgot her name. Was that Sunny, or was that like this Generation 5? I don't really care. But everybody's a unicorn. Then you have Rarity, and she's not a like a main character, but she's a unicorn. The thing about Rarity is that her magic, you can tell with Rarity that her magic is based off of fashion. She and diamonds, like later on in this episode, I'll get to this into the next video. Wait, actually, yeah, that will be the first episode I'll review. The very next video. So you have Rarity's magic is based off of diamonds and luxury and fashion, which makes sense. Her cutie mark is her talent in general has to do with fashion and luxury and diamonds and all that. So basically that's Rarity's main skill set. Very rarely rare really rarely do you see like Rarity use spell magic like teleportation, or it's just basic unicorn magic, and most of it ties into her talents. Twilight, on the other hand, her talent is magic, just like Trixie. Actually, fun fact, I heard Lauren Faust said Twilight and Trixie went to the same school of gifted unicorn magic, whatever, for those unicorns that went to gifted unicorn school who was taught under Celestia. They actually went to the same school. I just found the post of Lauren Faust saying that, so that is very interesting. And which is also very interesting because Twilight and Trixie both their talents are both about magic, and they're both unicorns. So I guess you do have a lot of unicorns, and you have a lot of unicorns in the show whose talents are based off of magic, and Pegasus talents who are based off of flying. Rainbow Dash is number one example. And then you have Earth ponies that are, their talents are more Earth pony, like Applejack. She's a great example of that too. And then you have characters like Fluttershy, her talents aren't based off flying. Then you have Pinkie Pie, her talents aren't based off farming. And then you have Rarity, and her talents are based off of magic. That's, you have the original Earth Pony and original Pegasus, and then the original Unicorn, and then you have Fluttershy and Rarity and Pinkie Pie. So there you go. You have those. I've noticed that before. I think it's just really interesting to point out on though. So my point is, what irritates me about this episode is that Twilight, somehow she knows the spell that will put the girls onto the clouds to watch Rainbow Dash. And I know why they did that, but just a little nitpick there, it just kind of irritates me, because it's like, Twilight, she has all these spells. I feel like Twilight, she's the main character, but I feel like often she's more overpowered than the rest of the main six. And I get it, she's the main character, but it also kind of feels unfair because she has like all these spells and she can just learn anything she wants within like a fucking day or two. And I get that's her spell, that's her talent, learning magic, but it's kind of too much and it's kind of overpowered. Twilight is a little bit of a Mary Sue, basically. So yeah, that's very cool. That's also why I think Twilight was being a little bit petty in the Trixie episode. Like, come on, dude, you know her, you used to go to school with her, and you're just going, okay, whatever, Twilight, we're just not going to acknowledge you right now. But okay, so yeah, Twilight did the same thing in the Apple Bug season episode. Like, she used her magic to like pull the apples from the tree down, and it's like, no, that's not your job. You're not an Earth Pony. You can't do that. So yeah, this show has like its weird thing where whenever they want to break like the laws of physics, they're like, oh yeah, let's just have a unicorn do that. Actually, this was really importantly stated in a later season episode. It's a really later season episode I really like. It's the My Little Pony version of the Christmas Miracle movie, right? With and Applejack's like, and you got the Christmas spirits, which are Applejack's a Christmas spirit. Starlight was like, Applejack was the past, Pinkie Pie was the present, and Luna was the future, I think. So yeah, you had that, and basically there's a what am I talking about? There's a flashback with Starlight, which it is very important, and I think this is really important for the whole series, and I'm so glad they acknowledged this within the show. It was like Starlight's dad or fucking son, I don't remember. But some pony said that, Starlight, you couldn't have your own thing, you would have to study magic. And ponies who basically, if you have a unicorn who, doesn't study magic, they're not going to be good at magic, because they're going to be in their own thing, so you better be a unicorn who studies magic, or else you're not going to be good at magic. And the more ponies, a unicorn, let's just say, a unicorn, let's say a unicorn is more dedicated to their career, the less they're going to know magic. This is actually true about my Sona. My Sona does not know how to do magic at all. I just don't really care about it. My Sona is actually more like a Earth Pony trapped inside a unicorn's body, but my Sona is heavily focused on art, so she has no room for magic. My Sona was actually going to be an Earth Pony at one point, believe it or not, but I quickly scrapped it because a friend of mine wanted a reference of my character, and it was kind of before I turned her into an Earth Pony, so I was just like, here, you can take it. And ever since then, the unicorn thing just sticked, and also the thing with the Earth Pony, she kind of looked too much like Pinkie Pie, so I was like, yeah, unicorn. But she doesn't really look like Pinkie Pie anymore. My Sona heavily developed, and she, you can tell it's me basically, but I was younger back then. But yeah, I'm getting very off track here. I just wanted to go into that really quick. I had to get that off my chest. So the ever so famous yay meme is in here. So if that didn't explain to you how much of a cult classic this is, that should tell you right now because of the yay thing. So yeah, you have that. So that is a cult classic. And on top of that, you also have the Rainbow Dash is great in this episode. that might be rare for me to say, but I love Rainbow Dash in this episode. I actually do think Rainbow Dash has a lot of anxiety, and it's shown here. You see a different side of Rainbow Dash you haven't been able to see in the series so far. So far in the series, Rainbow Dash is this boastful girl. She thinks she's better than everybody else. And then you have this episode where you really delve deeply into her insecurities and anxieties when she's performing in front of her idols, the Wonderbolts, and she thinks Rarity is going to top her. Not like that. Do not take me the other way. You know what I'm trying to say. Even though I'm sure a lot of that exists on the internet. If you're interested in it, you can probably look it up and you'll probably get a lot of that. But, my point here is that I love how Rainbow Dash, like, it goes into her anxieties, and we first actually see the Rainbow Factory in this episode. So if you don't think this episode is the most classic episode of season 1 and the most impactful in the season, most impactful on the Brony fandom, I mean, within the episodes of season 1, just remember this episode has the Yay meme in it and the Rainbow Factory. So I think that's enough. And this is really the first episode where we see any world building on the Pegasus's land. The Pegasus's land. So mostly in Ponyville, you got, I'm assuming it's like mostly Earth ponies. In Canterlot, you have the unicorns, and on, in Cloudsdale, you got the Pegasus, which, Rainbow Applejack should have been the main character. Anyways, so, yeah, that kind of explains more why Applejack should have been the main character, because, you got the Canterlot and Ponyville, and you got the Pegasus, and nobody cares about Earth ponies, but, yeah, you got that all going on, all that fun stuff. So, I love Fluttershy in this. I fucking love Celestia in this episode. She's so cool. I love Celestia. The Wonderbolts are dumb, but it's funny. You got Rarity. You got Rainbow Dash. You got Fluttershy. I love Fluttershy. She's so cute in this episode. She's like, yay! And she's like so interested in what Rainbow Dash is doing. It's like so cute and wholesome. This is just overall like such a great fucking episode. The cloud thing in Twilight kind of pissed me off, but whatever. Rarity for Fashionista, that outfit she made was very fucking ugly. I don't know what she was thinking, but again, it's played off for laughs. But like that outfit was dreadful. The eyelashes, oh my god. Whoever designed that was very funny. I liked it. It was really funny. I feel like actually Rarity would complain about the butterfly wing she'd be like, oh, this does not match me at all, darling. But, whatever. She's supposed to be funny in this episode. And it was absolutely hilarious whenever, the Wonderbolts were trying to catch Rarity and she was punching them all in the face. Why are you yelling? These goats are yelling. What are you yelling about? So, yeah, you have that all going on, and, yeah, this episode introduces, like, a lot of stuff. You have Cloudsdale in it. That was really important. That's really important, Cloudsdale, really. You don't really see a lot of Cloudsdale throughout the show, so I feel like you see Canterlot way more. So it's really cool how they showed off Cloudsdale. I thought that was really cool. I had another important thing I had to say about this, and I just completely fucking forgot it. What was it? You have all this going on. This is just a great episode. That's all I have to say. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Guys, you know what? This is the last episode I'm gonna do. I feel like this video, like, I know for a fact I've been out here for at least an hour, so let's do this, and let's end it, okay? So, I don't have a lot to say about this episode either, so I will try not to go into too deeply. Sorry, my cat was meowing and it was distracting me, so, where do I want to put this at? If you hear animals making animal sounds in the background, I deeply apologize. So, where do I want to put this? It's definitely B, I know that for sure. Better than this, I don't know. Actually, this episode and this episode, in my opinion, are literally just like on the same level. In my honest opinion, there isn't one that is better than the other. But let's just simply put this one above this one, simply for right now at least, simply just because there's more fun stuff going on in this episode. Like the whole Fluttershy segment is just great. Like, I'm a champion, bet you can't beat me. Like, Fluttershy with the kids is just like so great and so well written. I love Fluttershy in it. Fluttershy especially is amazing. You have CMC. Like, this is just an overall good episode. It's kind of like what I said about this one, and it's kind of like all CMC episodes in general. All CMC episodes are just alright. Like, they can be good, but they're not the best in the series. Besides the episode where they got their cutie marks, I know that's a later season episode, but that is definitely an S, and they handle that very more well than the Rainbow Dash being a Wonder Bowl episode. What the fuck even was that episode? That is another story for a different day, but guys, what the fuck was that? What was that? So yeah, you have this is also, I forgot to mention with this episode, oh my god, I completely fucking forgot. This was the introduction of the CMC. They were there at the end. Oh god, I forgot about that. Fuck. Oh god, fuck. I'm sorry. Simply just because of the ending of this episode, and it was like really wholesome and heartwarming, and you had the CMC. This one, the CMC are a little bit more annoying, whatever, I guess. And, yeah. So this is really the first episode where the CMC are at play like they are. They're kind of annoying, but especially it's mostly just at the beginning, and Sweetie Belle song, I'm sorry, but I really wanted to knock her out there. That was so fucking annoying. They're kind of more annoying in this episode, but it's to play off Fluttershy, so whatever. They were written like that in that episode for that reason. So, Fluttershy is just great in this episode. Fluttershy is S tier in this episode. I love Fluttershy in this episode. And then you had the whole, like, them in the forest thing, and then the Scootaloo is a chicken, Scootaloo's a cock blocker, whatever. That meme came out after that. And then you have Twilight turning it into a stone by the cockatrice, which is funny. You had two cocks in this episode. You had the Scootaloo chicken, and then you have a fucking cockatrice, which is one of the most funky My Little Pony character villain designs. I love a lot of My Little Pony, like, mythical creatures designs, but I think the cockatrice is probably one of my favorite. And it's not even that special either. It's just a fucking chicken with, like, a fucking lizard, but it's so fucking dorky. Like, it's so dumb, but in a good way, and I love it. And the CMC are just scared of it. And I don't know why I made that sound. I apologize. No, I don't. I love Twilight turning into stone. I like the fact that it's fucking Twilight. And then they treat Twilight like she's dead, and then the fucking snail comes over. I fucking love that so much. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, that was really funny. I do love how they introduced, like, a mythical creature. Like, they definitely do that within the show. I was about to say they don't do it enough. Yes, they fucking did. They did it in this episode. They did it in the Trixie episode. They did it in other episodes. Yeah. So, like, season 1, the earlier seasons just felt so much more down to earth and realistic, but in a way that wasn't boring at all, and it was, like, really fun, actually. So, yeah, this episode is really good. Guys, I think I'm really just going to end it there. This is probably the longest. This is probably going to be the longest one, guys. I apologize. I don't apologize, but I do apologize. But I don't, but I do, but I don't, but I do. But, these next ones, yeah, I don't think I have a lot to say about these next ones. But so yeah, it's gonna be 3 parts. I'm gonna try and do that for season 2 and 3 as well. We'll see what happens, no promises, but I'm gonna try and do that. So yeah, I'll make part 3 tomorrow if nothing is happening. So yeah, I'm about to end this video here. This last segment right here, by the way, these episodes are looking, this third segment shouldn't take me as long. I already knew from a fact that this episode, why do I keep wanting to call it an episode? This video right here, I knew it was going to be the longest because I knew I was going to get to the meatier parts of season 1. Meatier as in like the juicier episodes and the more cult classic episodes. So yeah, I'm really glad I got that done and out the way. I just really wish there was something more I could say about this episode right here, but I really don't. There's not much to say about that one. It's just this good. Go watch it. It's not the best episode, but it's not good, great. It's not bad. It's just decent / okay. So yeah, guys, I think I'm gonna end it here. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and yeah, I'm gonna end it here. Bye, guys.